Robert Evans, doing presentation number 2. I decided to kind of hone in on one specific memoir from Black Dove, and that is Her Last Tortilla. I think that some of the main themes that were in this were the importance of not only family, but expressing and understanding one's culture within a household as well as socially. It was something so simple as making tortillas, but it showed how these traditions and these cultures are passed from generation to generation. And this text beautifully depicted this by showing the narrator who got to spend time in the kitchen with her grandma making tortillas, who passed that on, her grandmother passed it on to her mother, who then passed it on to the narrator, who then passed it on to her own son. The joy of making these tortillas every morning. And I think it's very important to point out that, you know, this cultural significance within a household, and how that helps somebody to understand where they come from and the significance of the history that their family may hold. I think that this specific memoir is beautifully correlated to the identity portion of Infinite Divisions. I think that it pulls a lot of figuring out who you are and who the narrator was, and finding her identity through the culture that her family had established. I think that it's important also to realize that we are products of the environment around us. And through the routines that the narrator was taught from her grandmother, as well as her mother, and the work ethic and the the everyday things that they did and established and passed on from generation to generation, was a very very important aspect of the identity in Infinite Divisions, and obviously as well within this text of Her Last Tortilla. So I guess the questions I would have are, do we think that familial cultures are just as important as well as relevant as social cultures? And do we think that those in-home cultures and relations help to shape somebody more than the social cultures?